So you spoke on the first night of the RNC, and in your speech you said, quote, Joe Biden believes we can't think for ourselves, that the color of someone's skin dictates their political views. I've also found that our gender apparently dictates our political views, and when it comes to being conservative women, we're heretics that the media likes to believe doesn't exist. Do you think that liberals seem to pigeonhole minorities by assuming that they can't predict their political beliefs based on their race as well?
Absolutely. They don't only predict it, they kind of provoke it, right? I think they want us to continue voting for the same. But as we see in cities like Baltimore City, voting for one party, that mob rule leads to corruption. And I was really offended when VP Biden said, you ain't black, if you'll have to figure out between him and President Trump. I am black, and I have to tell you, VP Biden has been in office for almost 50 years. And if you tell me that he actually cared about the black community, why hasn't he done anything for all that time? President Trump, like I said earlier, has done many things with only 3.5 years. So to me, it doesn't even jive. But no, I believe liberals do put us in a box. I think that's why they're always talking about, different communities. And I think the way they do it is actually divisive.
I will tell you that I was born in 1968, and black home ownership was at 41.1%, and in 2000, and now it's at 41.2%. Black incarceration was 604 per 100,000 in 1968. Now it's at 1,730. Black unemployment 6.7% in 1968. Now it's at 7.5%. So I'm not really sure what it is that President Trump has done for the black community, but I guess I'll take your word for it. But let me ask you this. During ABC's town hall, Trump said that he hopes there isn't a race problem in the country. But he's repeatedly branded anti-racism protesters in the U.S. as terrorists. Now, while you say that black lives, and let me also say he's pointedly declined to condemn right-wing violence at those same demonstrations. While you say that black lives do matter, you are not a supporter of the Black Lives Matter movement, is my understanding. I want to know why not, and I also want to ask you, do you recognize that there is right-wing violence also at these demonstrations?
Yes, I'm going to dial this all the way back. Thank you for all your questions and your stats in the beginning there. I'm running against Kwesi and Fume. Sure. My opponent was there from 1987 to 1996. So all your stats are very accurate. And they are accurate because my opponent and Joe Biden signed over that 1994 crime bill, which led to a lot of those numbers you just laid out. Now, I will say that Black Lives Matter movement started out great. There's a lot of peaceful protesters that are involved in it. But at some point, it was hijacked. Now we have people coming into cities, and these are outsiders. If you look at the arrest records, they're outsiders coming into cities and burning down, looting businesses, and a lot of them minority-owned businesses in the name of, I don't even know what, because I don't even know what their listed demands are. They say they want to defund the police, but at the same time, I mean, you take a look at that, it doesn't make any sense. If you want police to have more training and to be better equipped for their job, you would add funding. So I know you said, do I believe that there are right-wing instigators? Yeah, there are instigators from all types of groups. This isn't something where, you could say it's Democrat or Republican. It's on both sides for sure.
Kim, I want to ask you about the coronavirus. We heard that tape where President Trump admitted that he wanted to publicly downplay the threat of the pandemic, even though he knew it was spread through the air and was going to be very deadly. Now, we see how the virus is disproportionately affecting the African-American community. Do you think continually downplaying the threat cost lives?
That's a great question. Thank you, Sarah. First of all, I think that, we didn't handle the pandemic as a country great as a whole. This is why I talk about bringing the biotech industry right back through the Baltimore City port. We allowed a lot of jobs and manufacturing to go overseas thanks to NAFTA and the Bill Clinton administration, and that's why he's pulling it back. Had we had that medical equipment industry here, we probably would have been more equipped to better handle the pandemic. Now, you're saying disproportionately affecting black lives. If you look at cities of Baltimore, you've got things called like a food desert. And this is where you're sitting there and they don't have grocery stores. They don't have what they need around them in their neighborhoods. And so, yeah, I believe a coronavirus pandemic would affect us more. I mean, look at my campaign ad. Look at the living conditions. That would affect us more. Absolutely. That's why I'm running for office.
Come on, Kim. Excuse me, I have to say something to you. He told Bob Woodward that it was a very serious issue and it's airborne and that it was terrible. And then he went out and told the American people, don't wear masks, it's all going to go away. You have to put some blame on your president, I'm sorry. You're putting it on something extraneous here. Talk to the point, please.
Is this Joy speaking?
The guy lied.
Same Joy? The same Joy that paraded around in blackface not too long ago? Come on, Joy. I don't think you should be asking these questions. I am an African American.
Excuse me. The black community had my back. They know that that was not blackface. That was an homage. Oh, please, just answer the question.
The black community has your back? The black community has your back?
They do. Sonny,
the black community did not vote for you.
Well,
the black community did not vote for you. What planet
It was during
are you
a special
living
election.
on?
Sonny, can I speak?
What planet are you living on?
It was during a special election while we were still under lockdown and I could not talk to people. Can I speak, or are you just going to scream over
this
me?
Becomes a big... Listen, Kim, good luck to you. Thanks to Kim Klacik.
That was very
we'll be right
immature,
back.
but
Bye.
thank you for having me.